So when we finished the last book, and I said, I am not, with disgust in my voice, I am not prepared to like Septimus. Like I'm not. There was a lot of like, oh, she's gonna make me fucking like this guy. Like, no, I'm not here for this. And then I got about 100 pages into this book, and I said, oh, I was not prepared to like Septimus.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Sam, and this is the Knit Ritz podcast. Today we are reviewing Lion and the Deathless Dark by Carissa Broadbent. I'm so excited.
Yes. By the way, you know the raw cover? I think that's the blood. What is it called? The crest?
Oh, for the House of Bloodborne? The Bloodborne people?
Because it says that they have like a crying woman on their thing.
Oh,
like this is a crying woman. I bet.
Yes,
I think
they
that's
do.
The thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I kept being like, because I didn't think about their crest, and I know it's mentioned like 3 times. But I was just like, who's this Jesus girl? Because she got a thorn on her head. I was like, who's the crying Jesus girl, and what is happening here? But yeah, no, it makes perfect sense that it's the Bloodborne crest.
Yes.
I love the harps.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Let's see the harp and the Is there any Serana rep here? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Which is interesting because she's kind of like. It's interesting that they would put the harps in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's because that's when that moment happens where her being, her deepest desires are revealed. But yeah.
I also had a really stupid moment because he calls her Dove for a while, and then when he switches to Lioness and Lion, I was like, oh, that makes sense why the fucking title is what it is. And I was like, God, you're an idiot, Sam. Of course that's okay. Idiot. But yeah. So spoilers. Yeah. There's gonna be lots of spoilers. We're gonna be discussing all the things. So don't listen if you haven't read it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna start now.
Yeah. We're doing this.
We're gonna ruin this book. No, this is I love this. I loved it. I don't think I had not a single complaint.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
there's not a right. This is 5. This is 5. 5 out of 5. It might be 6 out of 5. I love Broadbent. She could do whatever the fuck she wants because it's beautiful.
Yeah. I think she her style, we were talking about like the portrayal of enemies and stuff. That's a really interesting aspect here, and it was reminding me of War of Lost Hearts in certain ways.
Yes, because in War of Lost Hearts, you're rooting for Tisana and Max, and then you also have this like Riche. I just saw how to pronounce that name, and it's not SP, it's like Aoife. Right, and then you have like, you're like, those are the bad guys, but they got stories, they got real issues, they got whatever.
And I loved that character. What is that, the 3rd book? All those chapters we get of them. You're like, yes, I like this girl. And for a long time I was like, oh, we're gonna meet her, and then I was like, oh, she's in the past, and I started. Yeah, I think I might have guessed that it was that. It was
you did,
but
you did, yes, because I had to be like, oh, that's a crazy theory. Oh, yeah, that's what I didn't get that at all.
But before then, I was like, this is a cool character.
Yeah.
Cool, yes, yeah.
But yeah, I would have never put that together.
You what?
You do that sometimes. You you theorize well, and so like you'll do stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I would have never thought of that. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's what it is. I
love that. Because I love that you don't just like give it like
no, fuck no, I don't give it to you. If anything, I steer you away because I know that's what you want. With Topher, it's a different rule. If he guesses it on, he wants to know. But that's no, crazy. for you, I'll still steer you. I'll go so far the other way. You'll be like, are these 2 fated mates? I'll be like, there's what? This? Oh, actually, that's the vibe you got from them. I did not think that I didn't think they liked each other at all.
See, but then the problem comes when I think that you let something slip, and then I'll be like, okay, well, Sam said this about this person, so I think they're gonna have a moment where they but it's like maybe you are.
Now I'm gonna like fake spoilering you. I'm gonna like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. And it's gonna be something like really fucking off kilter.
Yeah, but hell yeah.
Like, do you remember that time that fucking Seth died? Oh shit, I shouldn't have told you that. And you're like, what? Just fake spoilers. Remember when Lionel was the good guy for like 5 minutes?
Yes. So funny. Yeah, I love the gaslighting thing. But yeah. So also I thought it was interesting kind of with War of Lost Hearts is that we have like another kind of voice in our head situation, except obviously now it's a sword. But it is interesting how it's like
this
similar to
is not the first vocal weapon that I have read about, by the way.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like, oh yeah, something that's like, I mean, was the other thing like a god touch thing, like that kind of idea?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. It was a it's in the Vampire Saga.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. They're weapons that there's a certain group of people who, I mean, everybody has a different like god sort of fucking with shit. But there's a certain group of people that are blessed by a particular god. And the weapons that are forged for them, they speak.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I mean, and I'm sure it's been done. I'm sure there's probably like some legend about like some blah blah blah. But I just think it's interesting that it was such a big part of War of Lost Hearts, and then it's like kind of like it's almost like she's got that itch. She wants to write more Richet.
Yeah, but you mean like really Excalibur? You mean like a myth like King Arthur and Excalibur? Maybe Excalibur spoke to him.
I don't know. I just assume there's probably like a mythological story that I just don't know. But I don't know. It just seems like the kind of thing that you'd find.
So when we finished the last book, which is Misha's the fourth book, and I said, I am not, with disgust in my voice, I am not prepared to like Septimus. Like I'm not. There was a lot of like, oh, she's gonna make me fucking like this guy. Like, no, I'm not here for this. And then I got about 100 pages into this book, and I said, oh, I was not prepared to like Septimus.
You like 100 pages in?
Probably more than that, but yeah, I like Seppi.
Yeah.
I am a prince. Please never call me that again. There's some like little quip and like banter that they do that I'm like, oh, this is just so very like natural.
Yes, there was a line. Oh, I don't remember what it was, but there was like this one line that I was thinking about. I was gonna text it to you, but
you know what I do like that she does that I think is done well, and it's hard to do well. So there's a lot of there's characters in other books, and the Twisted Sisters do this. We've talked about this before, where it's like the person that you hate, but they keep mentioning how attractive they are.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right? Yes. I was thinking about Kaiser,
and it even happens in Zodiac, right? They're like, fuck these guys, why they gotta be so hot? Like, you know, there's some of that. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, we get it, like it can't be the only redeeming quality, fuck off. Because that's the least interesting thing about a person is whether or not they're attractive. Like, let's be real. Yeah. And so in this book, and I think she's done it in other ones, but this one specifically, I love that it is, she fucking hates how pretty he is. Like, and it's not like a, why does he have to be so attractive? Why does he have to, like, why do I have to be attracted? Or like, oh, he's like, you know, what? It's not like that. It's literally like, fuck this guy and his fucking perfect face. And not in a sexual way, but in a like, that is unnatural.
Yeah.
Well, and that's unnatural. Like the beauty is unnatural. The beauty is something that you're like, you are cursed fucked up beings and you're also given beauty. Fuck off. Like, like that kind of thing. Or it's just like, I'm staring at his like absolutely like perfectly angular face. Like, ugh. Like and it kind of almost like resonates in a space where it's like humanity needs to be flawed, and it's within the flaws that are beautiful. And like the beauty of Septimus in the beginning of this is not something that is like something that's different from her hatred, right? In Zodiac Academy and some of the like other stuff, it's like this person is horrible,
but I want to fuck them.
But they are hot. Where this one is like, no, the beauty is kind of what makes him even more disgusting.
Okay, interesting.
And I do like that the shift from like hating this person to like reluctantly working with the person to still until like kind of like a like, you know, camaraderie, minor friendship into like, oh, okay, well that was a weird interaction, and like, oh, maybe I am attracted. Oh, now I'm like clearly because I feel like it's the emotions happen before the sexual attraction. And that's what works for me, as opposed to it being like, oh, so what you're actually drawn to is just that they're hot and you're putting aside all of their bullshit because they're hot. You're like, no, you are putting aside their bullshit because you're finding out who they truly are and you're building a loyalty and a friendship with each other. And now you can see them for a different kind of beauty that is beyond face value. Yeah. Because the face value beauty is actually what makes them more ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's something about that I like it better, because then you're like, oh, these people actually like each other and not just heightened sexual tension.
Yeah, which, I mean, you know, sometimes I'm like, well, I guess in real life, people do just have sexual interest. I'm like a heavy prejudice, like, marry your best friend person. I think you're fucking yourself over to do anything else, but I suppose people don't do that. People just are like, hot.
Yeah, I think with me, it's like, I've been attracted to people, but if they suck, it doesn't matter for me. Like, that will kill it for me.
Yes.
And so, like, I can see, like, you know, initial interactions, sure. Like, all you do is see the person, fine, whatever. But if you open your mouth and say some fucking stupid MAGA shit, oh, now you're ugly. Sorry. Like, I don't care. You could, you know, no, it's not happening. And so, yeah, that's kind of where that is for me. But
I think in like Zodiac and things like that, like the school setting is like this slight forced proximity. So at least it's not like, oh, you know, you should have walked away from that person. It's like, well, she's not really hanging out with him. It's just like,
and with Zodiac, there's a payoff. They write it well in Zodiac, and like you start to see, like, you know, they start to shift where they're like, oh, like they're kind of forced to work together, right? They're put in a fucked up situation where they have to kind of help each other out, and then it's like enemy of my enemy, and like, you know, and then like by working together you put other things aside. I know Caleb's in the background, so I'm trying to.
He said he turned up his headphones, but I'm just like,
but worried. Even still, like, you know, like that seems more natural. But like if they had just kept going with the like, oh, but they're hot, it'd be like, ew.
Yes.
Which is kind of why I didn't like the other book that I liked, where I was like, really, this is not even about you loving this person. It's just about you trying to put your dick in them. But okay. But that's not this.
I also think she doesn't do works. It a lot. That's the thing. It's balanced. That like. It's really not over the top.
No, and we don't get, I mean, you know, we're at like page 400 before we get some sexual tension. Yeah. And we get, you know, a dry humping scene. Which is the greatest.
Am I reading this wrong?
That is the greatest text message you have ever sent me, because it wasn't just it was the way the delivery was the most Allie delivery I have ever seen in a fucking text message in my life. It was, this needs to be like, for this episode, you need to screenshot that, because it was.
I'll put it in the thumbnail.
Fucking hilarious. Because you just get. Hold on here. I'm trying to see where it is. Is this scene ... dry humping? LOL. So I read it with your voice and your face just going.
That's exactly how I said it. Dude, yes.
And my only response was, yep.
Yep.
And then we were recording. So the is this the second time we've had a guy come in his pants?
You're saying Cassian is the other one? Does he come?
Oh yeah.
Septimus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he like makes a comment about like something
he
about
says like I enjoyed it too, but I was like, is that because he I assumed that kind of that he got her off. This is what I mean, but I don't read sex scenes or
yeah, no,
scenes
he clearly there was a big old grunt.
Touched his life.
Yeah. Yep. Well, because we know that like drinking blood makes people horny, right? Like that's established in book 1. So I was like, here we go, and then it was just dry humping, and I was like, oh, that's cute.
At least there's like there's a, what am I saying? Like a world building reason for why that happened. It's not just quick off the mark.
Yeah. Well, at least he got her off too. I mean, Nesta didn't even get hers.
Yeah, Will.
She palmed him once, and he said, And then she made fun of his ass for like a week.
Dude, that's just funny.
I imagine that if we had like an extended version, she would have like gone to breakfast the next day with like her book and be like, "Are you gonna finish that? Oh wait, never mind. Of course you're gonna finish. Of course you're gonna finish."
Yes, you would.
We'd just be like, "Are you gonna finish that?" And she'd be like, "Nope, never do." You gonna finish your breakfast before me, Cass?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's talk about the major beats though, because like, so okay, what do we think about the overall story? Actually, let's start with like the whole thing.
5 out of 5. Beautiful, love it.
Like, but like, where did you think it was gonna end when you started getting towards the end? Did you think that they were gonna end with like? Because I was like, I thought the night. Oh, Nyaxia's not gonna die, and
I thought Nyaxia was gonna get away. I thought that there was gonna be some moment where
she seemed like she should be the big bad.
Where she fucks some shit up, and she got away from them again. And I was like, great, now we're still fighting this big baddie. We're just dragging it out. I loved the plot twist.
Yeah, although I kind of saw that coming as well, because I was like, Fate's always the one to fuck you. Of course, that's the big bad. like
that's so funny because I did not.
Oh no, I've been suspicious of Acacia for a long time because especially because it's like that is such a classic thing, is that like Fate is indifferent, blah blah blah. Also,
Fate's not indifferent. Yeah, the stars don't care. Yeah, no, they do.
But like it's such a common like thing. It's like, you know, to also it weirdly is kind of a similar plot to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, I know you said we watched Topher play that, but like there's a really interesting similar kind of thing. Now obviously it's way different.
Yeah.
But,
I was surprised by how many gods we killed in this book.
Yes.
Now here's the thing. I know it's a duology. I know we gotta get through some people. But I was like, oh damn, we're like fucking shit up. It took me a second with her secret of being like, why does this matter? And like, yes. I did get it, but I don't feel like I was like, oh god, like I was like, oh, I mean, that's rough, but she's still doing all the things. But I get it because like all the things that they saw in the visions in the fire
were for the other
were not her. And so I get that, but I'm like, okay, so she's doing them anyways. So she's fulfilling the fate in her own way, and like she's still formidable. And like I think that's kind of why Septimus is like, all right, well, we can't rely on those anymore, but you're still doing it. And
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, I was just gonna say, I thought that when she kills her, she still met Shikit right after, and then she was like, okay. So I just assumed that just makes her the Vindigo Ulta still. Am I crazy? Like I was like, she still is because she was still given this blade now.
Yeah, I was like the blade talks to her. I feel like if she didn't have like if she wasn't that, then like just because the goddess itself says I didn't choose you, the blade chose her. That seems to be, and that I kind of like, is that like maybe we'll get that in the end where she like says something of like I'm not this thing, and then they say something like it wasn't about the god choosing you. It wasn't about her like Chicket, right? It wasn't about Chicket choose like the blade chose you. That makes you whatever. But also she can't be super tied to the blade anymore because she can't talk to her.
Yeah, that was a really interesting turn. Also, I feel like the blade is gonna be like, I don't know, some kind of, like, with ACOTAR we talk about like the cauldron magic versus word magic, and like I feel like the blade is going to be related to like a magic older than their gods, or like I don't know. I just feel like Zafia has like an interesting role to play, or she's no. And I think they could restore the sword. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a full Riche like there's a person in there, but I feel like there's something.
But that's the thing, is they keep saying like God blessed weapons, and then they go no, a God forged weapon. But then what's the blade's name again?
Zafia.
I keep saying Zephia, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I feel like because they said something about like the blade was made when the gods were made, and so I feel like there's something that's like whatever made the gods is what made the blade, and so it's gonna like be above just a god blessed or god forged. It's like a universe created thing.
I feel like that is also the thing that will bring the sun back as well, actually.
Yep. I'm looking up characters real quick. Gods and goddesses. Okay, so Acacia is big baddie. Alaris is dead, has been dead for years.
Yes.
Atraxis is dead. That was who Misha killed. God of the sun. Ix, dead. God of fertility, dead. Kashmar, dead. God of art and seduction. Nyaxia is exiled. Yeah, Shikit, dead. Strana, dead. Right, that's the mechanic one, right?
Yeah.
Yes, not science, yeah. So the only gods we have left are Acacia, Vitaris, and Zarux. Vitaris is the god of abundance and famine, and Zarux is the god of the sea, rain, weather, storms, and water. Those are what we got left.
Is there no moon person? Is Nyaxia maybe that?
Yeah, she lords over the domain of night, shadows, and blood.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah.
Who were you excited that came back? By the way, you mentioned it, and I swear because you said this, I thought you were excited. I thought we were gonna see Vale's girl. What is her name?
Lilith.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see her because that's based on how you said it. That's what I assumed for some reason.
No, it's Atreus.
Oh, okay, I can see how you.
And Selena,
yeah.
Selena, yeah.
Yes, I really forgot a lot about their story. I was disgusted how much I forgot.
What I really liked is we immediately see the sword, and we get an answer for it, and that immediately brought back all of the rest of the books for me. I was like, oh right, Acacia had the 5, and there was supposed to be 6, and we mentioned that in the last book, and then that just like whatever, and then that just blew up all the. I was like, oh right, now I remember all the books.
I still miss. I feel like I didn't remember a lot. And next year we'll do a full reread before the last one. But I couldn't remember a lot of the bad things that Septimus had done. I was like, why do we hate him so much?
Yeah, I had to look up why Aurea hates him so much, and it does say it in the bonus chapter in this book.
Yeah, but it's mostly just because of the tournament thing and his deal with Rain, right?
Because Rain
stole some god blood, right?
Yes, he did, because that's what's in his body.
Yeah, but what did he do to Niche?
Nothing. I don't.
No, I think
you didn't read the epilogue.
What?
You didn't read the epilogue?
I just
babe. It's so good.
No, I read Septimus's epilogue. I didn't read the bonus Araya chapter.
Okay. It's fine. There is a really, you should read it because there's a real sweet something in there.
Okay.
Cutesy little sweet something. And you're like, aw, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Is it a child?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What I really like, and I was talking about this a little bit in like a non-spoiler way as much as I could. I love that in the first 2 books, we get Araya, and she is our FMC, and she is the heroine, and she's the good guy. And now we're here, and she's not our good guy. And not only is she not our good guy, but she fundamentally fucking hates our good guy.
Yes.
And I love how Broadbent does that because I want to root for all of them. And I like Septimus a lot.
Yeah.
He's second place behind Asar. And then Rain is like, I don't know, after fucking Rowan.
Sorry, are we doing all-time MMC?
No, but I mean, like, that's, you know, I'm like, okay, then Rain's fine. And maybe it was just because it was so long ago and I read them so fast. And I think that actually these might have been, I don't know if I did audiobooks for these ones, for the first 2. Maybe that's why I'm not holding it the same way in my brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Asar is like fucking chef's kiss. I love him. But then Septimus comes in and I'm like, you dirty, dirty boy. With all of your twisted little naughty secrets that are actually fucked up. But, you know, because he's the, I mean, morally gray is, I mean, he's like,
he's
morally dark gray. Because he's like, yeah, well, you know, the loss of a million is worth the lives of a billion. And you're like, oh, yikes.
Greater good shit, huh?
Well, and because, you know, a lot of them are like, you know, like the loss of, you know, one or few for the many. You're like, no, Septimus is like the loss of many is worth the saving of many more.
Yeah.
And like to see how he's been pulling the strings since the beginning. Like he was the one who made it to where Rain could win.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, like, well, okay.
And supposedly and he engineered Atroxus too, and I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
He must have just been trying to like aggravate Mish, or maybe he told Mish the truth or helped her realize, or
I think that he was the one who invited the guy that she killed. Because that's the one who turned her, right? Wasn't she turned by a Bloodborne?
Oh.
And when they were at that party, I think he was the one who told him to be there.
Okay. Yeah.
He was the one who invited him, and then she killed him and had to flee. And that's how she ended up. And she ended up in the House of Shadow as a prisoner, and Septimus was allied with them. So maybe he sold her out there. I don't remember that, but maybe he was the reason why she got captured.
But I don't know how that would put her in. Like I don't know how he could have foreseen that would eventually lead to Atroxus's death, because that was kind of like not really part. It didn't really have anything to do with the House of Shadow.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Well, maybe he knew that if she fell in love with some dude, that Atroxus would get mad, and that, you know, through love all is possible, even killing gods. I don't fucking know.
Something. But I'm gonna look for it next time we read these books. I will also say it's always interesting how every FMC has like a transformation. Mm-hmm. You know, Araya already. You know, you just didn't know. And then, you know, Mish dying. Yeah. And now got a classic, and it's also kind of like a nice wrap up because it's like, oh, we've got an FMC who's going to be turned. Oh, never not yet.
Do you think that vampirism is going to be cured? Or do you think it's just the curse that's going to be lifted?
Okay, here's my actual theory about like, and this ties in, but so okay, I think the final book will be a fight against Acacia, you know, the fight against fate, the classic tale, and blah blah blah, self-determination. Okay. And I think so Nyaxia I've always thought is a villain, but it is actually going to be a protagonist, because she represents the ultimate like scorned lover tragedy. And so I feel like she's well, okay. I think this might not be the case because it's slightly a little bit too predictable. In which case, I'm down for her to just be like a fucked up person or them to take advantage of her, whatever. But I can see her coming around somewhat, or like even just helping them.
Yeah.
Fuck Akeja over, basically. Yeah. Or like I feel like she'll do a sacrifice, or I think she ends up dying, but it's like she helped bring about some change, or she just gets worse and worse in her powerless state and does something crazier and makes things way worse. But I kind of feel like because her story is the start of it all, she will come around.
We also go to the Deadlands.
Yeah, we've already been there.
We've already been there.
Right? Or with Rhea?
With with Atreus.
Oh, I thought Rain and Rhea were fighting that guy at the gate and stuff. Because I thought Rain and Rhea met Atreus at that gate with the snow, and there's the guy. I can't really remember that well.
I don't remember any of that shit. But okay. I do know. I'm almost positive that Atreus, because it's when him and Selena are traveling, and he's like, we need to go through the Deadlands or whatever, and then that's when they figure out that the gods had another world that they destroyed.
They figured that out?
Yeah, they figured that out, that they had another world and they destroyed it. And that's why they're like, these gods don't give a shit about anything. Like, they're just playing some fucking stupid reality show and that they need the drama. And when they're tired of us, they'll fucking smite us just like they did the other one. Because you see, like, the Deadlands is basically the ruins of that previous world or some shit, or you see it there. And so, I mean, Nyaxia isn't a place that you can get to.
Yes. Yeah, and I
think that there might be... I think what there might be is that Nyaxia ends up doing a sacrificial, self-sacrifice something, because
even if it's like to do more spite, like her ultimate full character tragic arc is that she ends her life as an arc of spite. I think it could be work. Or
and I mean, because that's a theme now in this book, right? It's like, even when you're when you know you're gonna die, take that last shot out of spite, right?
Yes.
You know, fight for your life or fight out of spite. So I can see that
to a T.
But I can also see Nyaxia maybe not having like a full change of heart, but I think that I could see her choices are live for eternity in the Deadlands. Powerless. Or die and possibly find an afterlife with her guy. And so I can see some bargain or something being made where, like, her death is what ends the curse, her death is what maybe ends vampirism altogether, and that she does it because the alternative for her is to live powerless forever in the Deadlands, and she's like, I would rather be dead with my mate. And maybe she makes that deal with, like, Misha and Asar, right? Where she's like, if I die, you know, take me through the underworld where I can be with him.
Can she be with him?
I don't know.
Because I feel like we would have met Alarus if that was a thing.
Well, because they do try to raise him, right? She tries to use Asar to raise him with like God, you know, his body parts and shit. And then Asar ends up taking his power.
Ending, yeah.
And then she, like, tries to be like, well, you're not, like, my dude, but you're kind of my dude. So, like, I want to be with you now. And he's like, ew, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there has to be something, like, she has to die.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, you know, now part of me is also, this is kind of metagaming. I probably shouldn't do this. But a part of me is like, well, that's a little too similar to Roche and Catalan. Because that's kind of what they did.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that vampires will die out? I think not, but it kind of could be like the Atraxas thing, where it's like, oh, the god who made this a thing is dead, and so you're all gonna whatever. But I feel like maybe
new vampires.
Maybe there's no new vampires, and they all just die out slowly. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just, if you have some kids and you can just keep it going because you already exist and you don't need.
Could you imagine, like, having fucking wings and being a vampire and then all of a sudden being human? I'd be kind of pissed.
Yes.
I'd be pretty pissed. Like, curses aside, I'd be pretty pissed.
Maybe they just don't have magic. Like, the Shadowborn don't have mind powers. The Nightborn can just fly because that's a mechanical thing, but can't do, like, the night fire and,
I don't know.
like, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think that's what we're all supposed to root for. Is like, oh, we all get our humanity back. But I'm like,
no.
All wings, baby.
No, I think
I'll drink some blood for the ability to fly. Fuck yeah.
No, it would ultimately feel like a genocide if, like, all of them died or something.
Well, no, I just meant that they would, like, all turn human.
And that's, but I feel like that's a logistical crazy.
Yeah. But no. Then that could have them be where, like, they all turn human because the only two gods that are left are the gods of the sea and the god of harvest.
Yeah.
But I could see them maybe, like, we're gonna have, like, a Lion King moment where, like, the land comes back from scars.
I think that will happen.
Yeah. We're gonna have, like, the Pride lands come back after the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think definitely
rains of Africa. Sorry, I'm fucking delirious. I'm so sorry.
I think the ultimate, obviously, the other thing is that the Bloodborne curse will break, and I feel like that's also holding other things. Like, breaking that will break other things.
Love that we have not gotten any real information about what the curse does until we see the curse.
We've seen it, haven't we? Because don't we see someone transform at the house in the Kajari? Am I crazy?
Maybe, but I don't think we knew that was the curse.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought.
But it's just been like, oh, they're cursed. They're cursed. And you're like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, you're cursed with a shorter life. Okay, whatever. Like, what? And then when we see, the guy, and she's like, that's the curse, isn't it? Like, I liked that we didn't really get to see the full extent of it, or at least know that we're seeing the full extent of it until it wasn't something that, like, Septimus was like, oh, let me tell you a story. It was like, no, she's watching. We're watching it.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I thought that those creatures they fought in the Kajari were Bloodborne, actually, but maybe not. Maybe it's just some kind of monster. But I thought that those were actual Bloodborne vampires.
They could have been, but I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, I thought they'd talk about it, but anyway,
maybe I don't remember a whole lot from the first two. I will say that there's another thing that in Atreus's standalone, when Selena does the thing with him where he can, like, see into the past, and we see not him and somebody else, and we see that somebody else die. I was like, who is this somebody else? Because he's traumatized by this. He's, like, tortured by it. And then we find out it's Septimus's brother, who is his cousin.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just kept being like, I remember reading that and being like, I know this is going to come back. Why does this matter? Why, like, okay, he's got trauma, whatever, but, like, this has to, like, matter more. And so hearing, like, the full story of it from Septimus was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's nice when it, like, ties up things in other books, which is what it's supposed to do. So
for some reason I thought we did already know that from that book too, but maybe that was my theory and I'm confusing it.
Maybe I'm an idiot. It happens.
But it was a useful reminder because I had kind of forgotten about it, and then, but yeah, it's very impactful coming from Septimus and hearing him talk about it.
I think we're gonna get some Lilith and what's his name in
Vale.
The last one, and Vale in the last one.
I think she's gonna have a big part to play with, like, a weapon that they forged to kill Kaja.
I think she's gonna have a big part to play in the curse, in the cure. That could be it.
Yeah,
maybe they just kill Nyaxia, or Nyaxia just fucking yeets herself because she's like, I don't want to live like this, or whatever. Maybe who cares? And maybe it's Lilith who ends up finding a cure, because isn't that that's what she does, right? Like,
that's what she didn't. She didn't find a cure. She found a cure for her own disease.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe,
or her person's. It was like her sister or some shit, right?
Something. No, she was definitely sick. But she was using vampire blood to do it for some reason. I don't know, but yeah.
But I mean, that's what she's doing, right? And then at the end of Don't they come back at the end of the 4th book and they're having a conversation with like Araya or something, and Araya like tasks her with something that sounds kind of secretive or some shit? And so that's 10 years ago. She's been working on something for 10 years.
Yes, yeah. I think they're trying to figure out how to use the god blood. No, she was doing.
Yeah, because that's what they gave her, right? Didn't they give her like god blood or god bones or something? They were like, we've been hiding this, or we've been keeping it, and like we only trusted in your
the
hand.
Blood. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I was very sad when her friends died.
Yeah, it was like Chris,
which is saying something because we didn't spend very much time with them.
I actually thought that was a better, like, I thought of Crescent City, but I was like, but we actually got to know these people a little bit more.
Yes, we did. And yeah, the like him sticking to his vow, and like she was like, he was a piece of shit, but he was still trying to save her even when he knew that he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when they come back, because they're being, used by
Serana, that's so creepy.
That's fucking rough. But yeah.
Kill, he gets like extra creeped out by like body horror and stuff like that. So when he wants to read these books, he's read the first one and the novella, and he is like, it's after Zodiac and his own books, like it's on his list. Yeah. But when he gets to that part, he's gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah. He's gonna freak out. Yeah, that shit was.
I really like that most of her books, at least the first book in the series, and the first book in each of the duologies, it's kind of a trials. Now, the first one was actually a trials, and I was not bored with it, and I was not annoyed with it. I oftentimes are like, I fucking hate trials.
If you tell me there's trials, I'm like, ew, I don't want to read it. But I thought the Kajari did not feel like that at all.
The Kajari did not feel like, and like the chapters where they actually do the trials, it was enough to do what it needed to do, but it didn't go on for so long that I was like, oh my god, it's a sports book.
And dude, so many go on way too long.
And then when we get to the second duology, that first book also feels like a trials book, right? They have to go like realm by realm, basically doing their thing. And I was like, yeah, it's a trials, but it's not a trials.
Yeah, niche. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the same thing. It was like, oh, okay, God after God after God. We have like the next step. And it also feels like trials, but not in a traditional way, not in a boring way, not in a cliche bullshit way. I was like, this is how trials should be done, always.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about trials with this book. I did think about trials with Misha's book, because that really feels like it sometimes. I think there's also like some of those, they had to find clues and stuff, right? Because Oliver's hid things. So, but yeah, I guess it is kind of like a trials. I mean, structurally, that's probably how she set it up, was to be like first act, second act. This big thing, this is the big thing. Yeah, it's interesting.
I am really excited to read Cursed Septimus's POVs in the next book.
Yes,
I'm really excited to read some fucked up blood drinking. I want to know what Septimus has been doing, because she's like, clearly he has blood, but I don't ever see him drinking. So
yeah. I thought that, okay, what I thought the whole time I was reading was that, because he eventually said, oh, the cigarettes, they keep my curse at bay.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought that, I was like, oh, this guy just, okay, sorry. In my head, I was thinking, I bet you the curse is brought on by drinking blood. And so the older you get, the more you drink blood, the more it ruins you. And then, so I thought he's figured out that if he drinks like the minimal amount of blood to survive, that he'll do it less. And so that's why he smokes cigarettes. But I think it's not. But that's what I thought for a while. I don't think it is.
Well, and then he also says that the smell of the cigarettes is like, helps mask the shit that he has in his body.
Yes. Yeah, that's interesting too.
And I love that he fucking hates the smell of them. That made me laugh so much when she's like, oh, vanilla, I think of you. And he's like, I fucking hate the smell of these.
So funny. Yeah, because vanilla is such a weird scent too. I was like,
oh, I don't like the smell of vanilla. But could you imagine if like Orion was like, I fucking hate the smell of cinnamon? And like it's like, it is his scent. It is what he's, and like, it's so funny. It's like Rowan was like, I cannot stand the smell of pine.
Pine and snow couldn't be me.
It reminds me of cheap ass old lady cars. And Aylin's just like, oh, he smells like pine.
No, that's one where I actually like the scent because it smells like home.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, but I think Septimus is his humor. I like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's very self-deprecating, and
he is, and he like the moments when he like has this like shitting smirk, smart ass, smug face, and then he gives like real smiles. You're like, oh, they're so worth it to get a good smile out of this guy because he's just constantly looking like this fucking smirky ass douchebag.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I like Septimus, but I think I just like each character. I would say if I had to rank them, I'd probably put like, I don't know, Ace. I'd probably put him at the bottom of the three, but more like because of like his, like I liked him, but I just don't know. But I also have weird, like I don't really care about MMCs that much. I just like when I'm reading their story, if I'm entertained, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. I don't really need to like them, but I feel like I wasn't as drawn to, but maybe it's because you said you really liked him, and I was like, he just feels like a guy to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
maybe that's why I liked him though, because he is this manipulative, pulling puppet strings, bullshit, like twist my evil mustache, like like that's the image you get of him, and you're like, no, he's just a dude trying to fucking save the world. He's just knows he has to go about it a real fucked up way.
Yeah, no, and I like that for like the plot, I guess, but I don't have any.
I also like, I think what is redeeming about him is that the reason to end the curse is not selfish. It's not solely because he wants to end his curse. He's like, I don't want to be cursed. He's like, no, I don't want my people to suffer. And like to some extent, he's even like, fine, then I'll rot away in my curse, but save my people.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him redeeming, is that he's like, no, these are people I love and care about. And that's the other thing too, is like, all we get from the Bloodborne are like, they're ruthless and they're the most dangerous and they're the most shady and the most ruthless and brutal. And then you see them and there's true family there.
Yeah.
Which is what makes us love things like the Night Court, right? You're like, okay, so, all these people are fucking evil is what the world thinks. And then you're like, oh no, there's loyalty and love and story and trauma and all the things. Atreus breaks my heart every time.
Yeah, we still have to find out about his horns.
Well, I mean, it's another curse.
But is it just a separate curse, right? Did we not find out? Did we find out about what they are exactly, or no? No, there's still like mystery there, right? Yeah. Yeah, rereading these will be lit. It'll be so nice to read them all in a row. Especially, I'm assuming it's next summer. Although maybe not. Maybe it'll be like 2 years. She just had a baby, so
yeah.
Maybe she's like, hey, I'm gonna chill.
Yeah. Good for her. She should chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that will be, and it'll be nice to read them in order, because I didn't read them in like the order that you're supposed to with the standalones.
Yeah, Kill loved the novella. He was like, this is so cute. That's probably my favorite novella.
Lilith and Vale. Yeah,
like so cute. And it was just perfectly like paced and everything. Like I usually cannot with novellas. I'm like, whatever.
I almost, because she's already turned in the first book, right? Don't they say something about like Vale comes to visit in book 2 and he has his like newly turned wife?
Yes. So
I'm assuming you have to read the first one. So you like almost need to read the novella first.
You're supposed to read it after the first book. So it's supposed to be like, book 1, that one, book 2, and then I think you're supposed to read Slaying the Vampire Conquerors.
Yeah.
3rd. And then Misha's trilogy.
And then Misha's, and then
Yeah. I also think this is interesting, like, in terms of next book. I think, Zafia being such a huge part, and, like, also Kyrene being, like, this weapon, and now, like, like, and also there's interesting, like, people are a weapon, you are a weapon, like,
I do love at the end when she's like comes to and she like turns to Atreus and she's like, so how do we figure out how vampires can wield god forged weapons? And he like turns to her and he goes, I wasn't. And she's like, wasn't what? And he's like, I wasn't right about you. And you're like, fuck yes. But he can't be near his wife right now, which sucks. And so they need to be happy because I love
that's
him.
how you know that alone is the reason why they gotta fix it next book. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's interesting like symbolism with like Zephyia is literally a weapon.
Yeah.
That Kyrene is a weapon, and then Septimus has kind of like made himself into a weapon with his like his skin graft things or whatever. And so I think I don't know what you'd call it. His plastic surgery is botched.
I like keep imagining, like, it was very hard for me to hear that of like how it's embedded in him and not be like, oh, that's gotta look gross.
Yeah, it has to look gross because especially he was like,
or just look like, do you know what you know what dermals are, right?
I think so. It's like a pierce goes straight in.
They like take a scalpel and they like cut a little slit in your skin and then they put the dermal and they put and so it's like there's like a hook, there's like a circle on the bottom of it and they put that in your skin and then your skin grows back through that and it holds the jewel like flush with your skin. That's what I imagine. He's just got God blessed dermals with this tattoo situation happening.
Yeah, but
when he was like, no one has seen what's under this shirt, I'm like, fucking take it off.
Yeah, I was like, it's something weird.
Yeah, it is. He's got dead guy bones.
Yeah, it's creepy, but it was interesting.
He's like, I got this nipple pierced
with a tooth.
With a tooth. Got this one pierced with some blood. And you're like, oh my god, Septimus, that is a weird kink.
Oh my god.
Got my belly button pierced with a finger bone.
Ew. Yeah. He's a freak.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think in the next book, like it'll end with him like his like I think there'll be like some kind of purpose to him or usefulness to him being in this form and he'll be able to like do something or he'll learn something about the curse from it or like I don't know. I'm just like it seems like and it's definitely meant to seem like an all is lost moment, but it also kind of just doesn't feel like it. It feels like, you know.
Yeah. What I will say is the second we entered that temple place, the temple, and there was like the weird thingy, I was like, oh, that's our old king.
Yeah,
that's
I thought the same thing.
I was like, that's the king. And then they said, oh my god, I know who this is. This is the king. What I didn't see coming was when the king died that Septimus got an air mark.
I did not see that coming
I did not see that coming. I was like, hell yeah, get you an air mark, boo.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow, what if you know,
dude, if red tattoos without outlining held up well, I'd add an air mark to that thigh tattoo I got coming.
Dude, yeah, that's so funny. Okay, also, we'll say, the last part, so the first part is, like, the parts are named after, like, the gods that die, right? And the first part is called, oh, sorry, hold on. Justice, obviously, because Shikit dies in that part, and then the next one called, I guess it's not, actually, because the next one's called...
The Machinist? Or Mechanics or something?
No, the part name. Where is it? Serana. Oh, I passed it. I must have passed it. Sorry. Okay. So it's Justice, Machinery, and then
Stranya doesn't die in that part.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and then Blood. Maybe I have it wrong. The Machinery is the part where Ix and Kashmir.
I thought they died in Pleasure because they were the pleasure gods.
Oh, yeah.
That's also when I thought that things were going to get spicy, and they did not.
Yeah.
They kind of did. She did try to, like, cuck him, which is cute.
Yeah. He was not having that. Anyway, the whole reason I brought that up in the first place was because the last part is called Vengeance, which I thought was interesting because there's no vengeance really in that part, and which makes me think, Shikit being such an interesting kind of role in this book, and I'm assuming in this duology, that like there was a vengeance that we just didn't realize was vengeance here, or Akaja was doing the vengeance, or like I don't know. And it's also interesting that Zophia's broken shards are the like icon for that, because it's like that is important. It is a big deal, but it also makes me wonder, like, it's called Vengeance. The icon's the sword. It makes me wonder things about who Zofia is and what this is about, and I don't know. Thoughts? Sorry, what? Go ahead.
Thoughts.
I have them.
You said thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, so where do you 5 out of 5 for this book for you?
Yeah, I'm really bad at rating books. I've just kind of stopped reading them because I'm just like my tier system is always like, if I was entertained, it's a 5. Like, but then I'm like, or if I wasn't pulled out of the book very often, like if I wasn't like, what is this writer doing? Then it's basically a 5. But I feel like that's not fair to do that, because I've given a lot of books 5s. But yeah, no, I think Carissa Broadbent always is like, she hits every time.
I feel like anything that she does, I'm like, take my money. Take it all.
Yeah, and I don't
take my money. Let me meet you. I'm gonna buy all your merch. I'm gonna have a bedspread that has one of your book covers on it at some point. I mean, not really, but like that's where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, she could do no wrong.
Yes. Well, no, authors can always do wrong, but
they can do wrong. But like,
I was a J.K. Rowling fan for a long time, bitch.
It's fair. But so far, she has never disappointed.
Yes. And I will say, while I don't love the setup of the duologies, and like I don't like that kind of format in general inherently, even though I know whatever. But I think she is doing this well to connect pieces really.
Well, and they feel like spoilers to you because you know that they're like. But I mean, that's also just like the nature of romantasy. You know, it's a spoiler. You know that there's gonna be a love interest. But yeah, I feel like that's why you didn't like it, is because you're like, okay, well, so now I know that they're gonna get together.
Yes, and that they'll have some kind of breakup or something that drove them apart at the end of the first book after they just got together. Like structure wise, it's like that. But I do think I wasn't thinking about that this time a lot.
I will say she posted many months ago the quote that Septimus says during their sexy time. And this entire book, I was like, I have 300 pages. It's going to happen. I have 200 pages. This hasn't happened yet. I've got 100 pages left. This motherfucker better say this shit.
What quote?
She posted the like, behave. I'm not going to come in your mouth. I'm going to come in your cunt. And I was like.
She posted that?
Yes. And I was like. Septimus, you dirty boy. And so I remember reading and being like, when is this quote gonna happen? Because my man, I need you to finish in a cunt already. But I remember being like, I only have like 100 pages left. When are they gonna bang? When are we fucking?
I want to hear the line.
Did she give me a quote from the next book? But no, the pacing was beautiful. I loved that it was, and it's so interesting too, because like, I know especially after like SJM did her interview recently about how she's like, everything just like gets labeled smut, and that's like a whole conversation right now that like female authors, if there's any sort of romance, they just get like default smut. And then you get a book like this, and well, and not only, but here, and it's like, it's not smut. I mean, I guess, but like, it's romance. It's an intimate scene. It fucking makes sense for the story. It's a, it's a payoff, whatever. And so it's like, that's one of the things that like, when people are like, oh, you read smut, babe, I just read a 500-page book and there was one sex scene. Yeah. Sorry. There were 2 intimate scenes, explicitly intimate, and one of them was dry humping. Like, get off my fucking nuts about I read smut. No, there are books that are mostly that, and that's not what I read, because I'm not here for the sex. Do I want it there? Yes. Is it a necessity to have aspects of that there for me? Kinda. But that's not what I'm showing up for.
Yeah.
And I only want it to be there because I want a romance and because I want it to be adult.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to read about 16-year-olds falling in love. It's gross to me.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to see your like, nah. I don't want to read about virgins.
Is there anything else we didn't talk about? I tried to look through the book and I was like, I don't know.
I think so.
I think Kyrene's interesting.
You can tell he's the youngest because his name is just 7th.
Huh?
So you can tell that he's like the youngest. Because
Septimus translates to 7.
It's just 7. They were like, we had 6 kids before you, and we're just done trying to figure out names. Septimus. There you go.
I mean, okay.
The next one is Optimus. Is Octimus.
There's truly nothing worse though than a lion named Rory Knight. Okay. Rory?
I mean, a lion is also named Leon.
Yes, that also is crazy. But
and
Zodiac,
he is a Leo.
You just kind of get away with it. And it's because in my head I go, this made them giggle to name him Washer and he's the water guy.
Yeah. Like, also, there's like hashtag brainwasher, and I was like, that's funny. Because I didn't read, I was like, I'm not reading fucking hashtags, but I have to read it out loud for Topher. And at first I was like, I'm not going to read the hashtags because that's annoying. But it's like, no, I have to. This is part of the fucking nonsense. And so at some point it was like hashtag brainwasher, and I was like, that's the joke.
Yes.
For Brian Washer's brainwasher.
Brainwasher. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, dude, I am excited for the next book.
Can you imagine if we're gonna get a novella before we get the next one? I'm just kidding.
Akeja and Kashmar's One Night Stand.
Yup.
We get a Alrus novella.
You could.
Probably not.
We get I don't know who else we could possibly get.
I mean, they could just make up a character like with Lilith.
They could.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, there's definitely some people.
Yeah. Okay, so next week we will do something interesting. At least interesting for us, hopefully interesting for the listeners. Until then, keep reading.
Keep writing. See you next week.